That's one way to introduce
Back in the game.
Yeah, well, last week was our big comeback podcast. You don't get
I think I'm just going to say that at the start, everyone. Back again.
Oh, you thought you'd heard The Last of Us, didn't you, folks?
Yeah, must have forgot. Just be super hype at the start of every podcast. Oh, too much fun today, Ruth. Too much fun. Time to be serious and brutal because
it's time to do what?
Because it's time to get slightly serious. So first of all, welcome to the podcast, folks. Old and new listeners, welcome. Very important announcement. It is a very special Karate Cat's birthday this week. Whose birthday is it?
You mean on Wednesday?
His birthday was on Wednesday.
It was my birthday.
No, it was Steve Sensei's.
What?
Steve Hubbell Sensei's birthday.
Oh.
Was it your birthday on Wednesday, was it?
It was my fucking birthday on Wednesday too, you bollocks.
We joke.
Yeah, we discovered during the week I share a birthday with the karate legend of our time.
The best, in my opinion.
And you know, more and more people are coming out. You know, the more I hear about Steve Hubbell, the more super fans I discover are out there, and there's got to be something to it. I've never met the dude. Obviously, you have. You're one of his super fans. So is everybody who's ever trained under him. I've never heard an Hubbell detractor.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anyone that's trained with him that has come away going, I didn't enjoy that. Or maybe not enjoy is not the right word.
Because it can be tough, right?
I mean, yeah, you come away just a bit sold, it's like crushed, really, because you realise how bad you are at standing up straight. You know?
But you wouldn't think you'd wasted your time.
Yeah, no, exactly. Nobody's come away from it saying that guy doesn't know what he's talking about, or that guy isn't good at karate.
He's the ultimate, isn't he?
He is as Scott Sensei says, the beacon. The beacon.
And we've got the same birthday, so yeah, I sincerely hope that by this time next year everyone will have forgotten, because I don't really like celebrating my birthday, but that's another thing.
Yeah, we can go into Rue's psychological problems another time.
That's another podcast.
But yeah, man, what's been happening in the world of Rue? Another year older.
Yeah, 29 now.
Another year wiser.
Well, extremely wise. Actually, the secrets are beginning to unlock. Yeah. It's kind of like climbing ranks in the Mason Hall. I don't have new handshakes or like new code words, but I've just got a new, like I look at you and I think,
yeah,
silly child.
That's it. If only I knew. If only I knew.
The ways of the world.
That's it. But you've been imparting this newfound wisdom on new students, right?
Oh yeah, adult students for once.
Ooh, Rue Sensei has an adult class.
And now I've taught adult classes before, covering for people, like a fair few times. And there's a whole different reward you get from teaching adult classes. And now I get to do it on the regular. I've got a scheduled adult class on Thursday at 8 p.m.
Fantastic. And your first thing was to make sure it was so hard nobody came back.
No. I made my training so hard that my numbers doubled from first week to the second.
Congratulations. If you don't know, now you know.
Although imparting wisdom was not part of it. I was imparting motivation to kind of push until they couldn't stand anymore.
Ooh.
So I broke. I've not broke. I don't want to say broke, but
You've thinned the herd of the weaklings.
There's been one giver-upper in each of my classes so far.
Yeah?
I don't know if I'll be able to maintain that.
You want to name some names? Who gave up?
No,
yesterday?
No. Well, I think it was actually because he was sick.
Oh.
It was Gagik.
Oh, so you just dropped his name?
Yeah, no, but it's also because I think he was actually sick. I don't think I trained him to death. But then the week previous, I did a guy quit in the first 10 minutes. But he was also a beginner. So
Breaking the
yeah, not too good for student retention, but whatever.
Thinking he's coming to get pearls of wisdom, Miyagi-Do style, and you're like, you came to Cobra Kai, motherfucker.
Pretty much, that's how I'm running it.
You gotta earn that shower curtain.
The way I'm looking at it is there is a deep well of Budo knowledge in the ranks above me, AJ Sensei, Ross Sensei, Scott Sensei, but there's nothing to lose from training hard. So I'm just going to train them hard.
Yeah.
And when there are points I can give them, I'll give them. But for like last night, Tig was in my class,
Yep.
and everything I asked him to do, he had it straight away. Other people, I was able to give them, turn those toes that way, and make sure you're doing it like this and not like that. This is your Ash, not your Ash. And but Tig just had it, so he got the benefit of just putting in a good class, building up his legs. Everybody else got the benefit of that, plus maybe a few pointers.
Deadly. I think it will be. I think that's a good way of approaching it. Like, not that you don't have technical input. I think to say that there's technical people above you, like you've got your own. You've been here long enough now that I think, like I found after how long have you been here now? Year and a half?
I've been here 2 years.
2 years.
Mm-hmm.
2 years. 2 years now. I found after 2 years I was starting to get more confident with the technical ability. Like that, I thought that I'm not making mistakes. It's just adjustments at this point.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing that I'm moving completely wrong when I do certain kata.
Oh, there are
technique,
some
you
things
know.
that I still do completely wrong. But the thing is, sorry, you go on.
Yeah, so I was just saying, like, so I think there's a good way to, if you want to train that way, that's good. But like, you're well able of giving the technical.
I can give
bits
technical
as well.
feedback here and there, but so people might think I'm a bollocks now when I say this, but I consider myself kind of, I don't want to say a karate genius. No, I consider myself a guy who knows a lot more about karate than you'd think looking at me doing karate. Mm-hmm. I think, I don't know how to judge my own standard. Nobody really can judge their own standard. But I imagine you'd look at me and you'd think, yeah, well, I suppose that's Nidan level. But just from training so often with you and with Scott, like guys who have, like I said, deep, deep wells of knowledge, I understand stuff that I can't yet do physically.
Okay.
Maybe never will be able to do physically, but I'll keep trying.
Never. Secret sauce. Secret sauce. But no, I get what you mean. Like, you can conceptualize it, you just can't perform it.
Yeah.
And that's the tricky part. And I think that's a tough thing with a lot of people who train. They like to understand, but fail to then put the work in physically.
It's your turn to call someone out now. Who are you talking about?
I remember I was with, I wouldn't name names, I'm not going to name names, okay. But I was with Sensei Scott. He was teaching a course, and there was just a contrast in instructors, a few instructors, and it was just a contrast between every instructor. And you could tell who'd come to train with who just by looking at them.
Oh, I see.
Because there was people who were very enthusiastic about talking about karate, which is fine. And then you had the people who can physically do it or physically train hard. Even if they can't do it, they're physically pushing themselves. And I am of the opinion that, like what you're doing in your class there, that you will progress much faster doing that kind of training. Like getting physically able to do anything that's asked of you by just training hard and being fit. Then talking about it, understanding it, like, yep, that's how I'm going to do that, spinning Shiramawashi or whatever, but then never being able to actually get your leg off the ground. Yeah. And like, that makes you think, like, because I think there is sort of more divide now that karate, like you see the karate's been exposed and stuff over Zoom the past wee while. Like, you see some of those harder, faster, stronger guys when it comes to not being able to stand in front of the class and shout harder, faster, stronger, and they have to actually give over some technical knowledge. They shit the bed, like they couldn't do it. Like, they just couldn't do it.
Some of them, I saw one clip of a guy, and he was just like killing himself. He was like in his living room, and he was doing all the reps that he'd come up with a combination, and he was like, right, we're gonna do it 50 times, and he did it. Probably everyone's sitting at home like not doing it at all, but he was piss and sweat, the poor bastard.
and sometimes that's fine. And lead by example, all very good things. But how many times a week can you do that before you fucking destroy yourself? Like, you know,
He was in his 50s and everything.
yeah. At some point, like less is more. You know, like
Oh yeah.
yeah. I think sometimes, like for sure, as an instructor, you can have them picking and doing the reps. Then sometimes it's like, actually, see if we just work on this nugget here, and then combine it with this little nugget here, and these two technical points. You're gonna break through that sort of plateau. Like you're not gonna like, because sometimes you hit a plateau with training hard, right? You feel like you're not doing something, and then somebody gives you just that little nugget just to change the way that you're moving or change the way that you're thinking about it. Then all of a sudden, boom, you take off again.
Yeah.
And you're reaching whole new heights.
But if you're talking about focusing on a nugget, that brings to mind an image of somebody going, you know, standing there in their Zenkutsudachi maybe, and just like doing the first 4 inches of Gyakuzuki and going, yeah, you know, I really feel like I'm getting the inflection and it's coming from my center and I'm using my breath, but they're not really training. They're just kind of, I don't know, twitching or, you know what I mean? So I think you're talking about finding a balance.
I think I think there has to be balance, right? Yeah, it has to be balance. But I think early on, train hard. For sure, get fit. Then once you're fit, then you have to then take a look at yourself and say, right, there's a certain point where doing 1,000 Yakuzukis just isn't helping me improve. I'm only maintaining at that point, and that's when you need to have that real technical input. Like for example, even a simple thing like Rick Houghton Sensei talked, like saying that the peanut butter. The first time I heard the peanut butter and the forearm thing, and he was like, "How would you squeeze peanut butter out each part of your hand that you're striking with?" And you're like, "Huh." That all of a sudden you're putting thought into how your like inflections, like the inflection in your hands when you're doing certain techniques. Paolo Sensei, when we were training with Paolo Sensei, and he was just like, you know, simple things like how you're breathing at certain points in your technique. All of a sudden it changes the way that you're breathing, changes the structure that you're standing in. Then all of a sudden you have much more, like the connections so much better that you're effortlessly moving.
And at the end of the day, it is about structure. Even if you're talking about squeezing peanut butter out of the ridge of your hand or whatever, you know, if you might have that image help you find that structure. But it is just so. If I do that, I'm got my fingers on the ridge of my hand right now, and then I inflect, and you feel the muscles there, kind of, which would protect that bone there in your hand, which you don't want to break. I mean, why would you hit someone Haito anyway? You know, like if you don't need any peanut butter there.
Rick Jackson's got that weird thumb bone that comes out like a knife. You know, some people have those gammy knuckles. He's got that big gammy like finger knife knuckle. Yeah. I don't know. You crack with that, fair enough. But yeah, I would rather I would definitely make a fist over.
You don't need any peanut butter when you've got your 2 big knuckles there. Mine are really protrusive. Look at that.
So yeah, everyone look at Rue's knuckles. It's great podcasting.
Sorry. Just yeah.
Yeah. So what's the hardest session you can remember doing in our own training when we train? What's the one session where you're like, Christ, that was some fucking
in the Hombu
session.
Dojo?
Yeah.
It's got to be only a couple of months ago with you. Remember you had us doing circuits?
Oh, yeah.
Or did you mean a morning session?
No, any session. Yeah.
Remember, excuse me. We were doing circuits, and it was just, I think you just picked 8 random exercises off the top of your head, and we did 2-minute rounds. And you had go from a, ass to grass squat right into an oizuki. You had that one, you had crunches, you had makiwara, and man, we did it for a full hour.
Yeah, man.
By the end of that hour, I started vocalizing my pain, so everybody else in the dojo is just kind of sweating through it, and you hear me like doing crunches in the corner, like,
Deadly.
And because I was surrounded by, I suppose, ordinary students, hobbyists.
Yeah.
They were struggling too. I was struggling. Everybody was doing as much as they could. But I think I was extra motivated to show off.
Yeah.
Or just not slack.
Gotta be the best.
Yeah. So I kind of did myself in that day.
Yeah.
I was fucked.
Hardest session I've done has to be, it was during the peak Zoom time, and no, it wasn't. It was after, and we still have Vince coming on the Zoom
Yeah.
after quarantine's finished. And it was me and all of the senseis were gone.
Yeah, I missed.
I can't remember.
why.
Everyone was. Nobody came in to training that day.
Yeah.
So it was me, Carl, and
The people on Zoom.
the people on Zoom.
Yeah.
And one other person, maybe Georgia, maybe Caitlin, I can't remember. But it was the young ones and
Yeah.
me. I remember that like going ass to grass squat Oizuki.
Yeah,
We done
yeah.
fucking sets of that. Then we done sets of lunges, like lunging in Yakuzuki push back, lunging in Yakuzuki push back. And it was just like a leg exercise day. And during it I was like, man, that's tough. But then, and like that was like the sorest I've been, like physically the sorest I've been in ages. But the next day, geez, I was like, you're a fucking idiot. As I'm lying in bed trying to move, I'm like, why'd you do this to yourself? That's why I should never be left in charge of morning trains.
Yeah, man. But so that was because we were. I know why this happened. We were training on Mondays all of a sudden. We were doing Monday mornings, and you had done the same routine the Monday before, and I had been there for that. But then you did it again the next Monday, and I suppose maybe you developed it a bit more, and it was a bit more severe.
Minging. That was the hardest thing I've trained in ages. So, people, if you're ever wondering, train hard or train technical, the answer is
Train hard.
always Cobra Kai it, man.
I know. Not really.
No, it's you've got to have train hard, but train mindfully. Train hard. What's that mean?
I don't think it's applicable at all. I think it's a bit of Japanese off the top of my head. No, it means like, it means develop the brain learning as well as the body learning.
The brain learning as well as the body learning.
But I think rather it means outside of karate training, so no, it doesn't apply.
But it does apply.
Oh, it does apply.
Everything is everything.
Oh, I forgot.
Don't you know? Maybe wise 29-year-old now.
Oh yeah, no shit, I forgot. But yeah, we a soft session can be good as long as it's not too frustrating. I get pure frustrated when we're looking at the nuggets, like you say. I think you're getting a lot out of those kind of sessions nowadays when Scott comes up with a little bit of magic for everyone to be flabbergasted by.
Yeah. But the best is when he can combine both. Remember in Denmark when he done his Unsu class?
Yush.
And it was like he done the kata Unsu over the 3 days. Mm-hmm. And one of them was just doing the kata, the technical points of the kata. So it was then he done the kihon of the kata. Like, so this is the kihon that we're going to do to help develop the principles of Unsu. And then he's like, and this is the kumite of the kata. This is how we're going to fucking smash something with the techniques from the kata. And it was just all came together in this magical crescendo. And I went, he's done it again. just when you think you've caught up to him, boom, he just takes off. Like he always says, he just has to be one step ahead. And he's always ahead. That's it.
Man, there's a great video from that course where he's the takedown. So he's got you up at the front of the class and he's doing some bit from Unsu, probably the jump. Yeah, it must be the jump. Anyway, and he does the scissors takedown on you, but he's like, so you need to have this feeling of going in and this feeling of takedown. While he's doing that, he's leaping through the air.
This feeling of takedown. Takes off, man. Oh my god. Just giggling as I'm flying through the air. He's mad for his old wee feelings, isn't it?
Exact same feeling of
this feeling of punching feeling.
He doesn't sound anything like that.
He does, man. He does. And when he's really going for it, this feeling of punch.
Yeah, but that's more like his actual voice. When we're taking the piss, it's like this feeling of punching feeling. He's not that squeaky at all.
Nah, he's English, buddy. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Train with Scott. And you'll get a bit of both. You'll get a bit of hard karate and soft karate.
True. And that's the great thing about Shotokan, I guess.
Shotokan.
Obviously Goju Ryu means, the hard, soft school, and that's been their whole thing from the start. But it's there in Shotokan too.
Oh, for sure.
I think most people regard it as a very hard style, though, don't they? Because of the long stances, the explosive kihon, the way, basically, karate competition throughout the world has kind of come from the way Shotokan was put into competition, right?
If you want to see an example of soft karate, in my opinion, I think Kagawa Sensei. Kagawa Sensei's karate is so... See, if you watch him do kata, he's so soft. There's no, like, the way he punches, it's just... Pam, pam, and it's just... There's no like... urgency to what he's doing. He's just moving. I think Kagawa's one of the best at being, like, super relaxed. Like, he's so chill. And he obviously trains very hard, did train very hard, champion for all these youth, and all the rest of it. Kenjutsu, all these things. Obviously karate legend. So trains very hard, but also super soft. And well, actually, you can see when there's certain points, like when you watch him do kata, like when he turns, there's no like rush to get from point A to point B. So he'll hit the move in, boom, and then he'll relax through the sort of movement, then boom, hit it in again, and off to the next one, then boom, and it's just this pulse. It's amazing.
But you can also move very explosively.
Yeah, of course, when he's doing kumite. That's what I'm saying. I think he's a perfect example of soft like karate, like in terms of how he moves when he's doing his kata, when he's practicing his kihon. When you see him, he's very loose, like that kind of almost like boxer-esque type, like punches and stuff, where it's like his shoulders super relaxed and everything like that. But then obviously through the hard training stuff, he can then fly across the tatami in the blink of an eye. And smash somebody.
I suppose...
But even with his kumite, he was very chill. He was very soft with his kumite. Like somebody would come in and he'd be over the top in a blink of an eye. But then he'd jog around the mat after he smacked him in the face, and he's jogging afterwards, and he's never like, you know... What's the word? Crazy. He's never like that kind of like...
Right. Like Yahara.
Yeah.
I think that would be the polar opposite, right? Because when he does his unsu and he does his little finger gun strikes, then his arm is shaking, you know?
Exactly. That's the comparison there. I think you can see it in the two of them. And it's not that the hard karate is worse or the soft karate is better. It's just that it's different. And there's a balance between them, but they're obviously at other ends of the spectrum in terms of where they've ended up.
But do you think there's any ultimate way to be, or is it always... No. I know that. But do you think there's any in your own training? Do you think there's any ultimate balance, or do you think you can be one or the other? Like, do you think?
I think most people will have a tendency to favour one over the other. I think the people, like for example, I think if I think now the way I am, I'm naturally big built, heavy. I think if I tried to do the way I was doing karate when I was 16, 17, with my really skinny, teeny tiny body, it would be complete. It would look ridiculous, like because I was training very hard sort of style karate back then. Now I'm loosened up and I'm trained very soft. Train hard, but not by trying hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so because you're...
I feel like I'm not explaining this very well.
No, I get you. So your style changed because you grew up and your body changed, and I suppose also your instructor changed.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so I guess it just depends on the individual and their circumstances. Who's their teacher? What are they training for? Are they training for competition? Are they training for, are they a hobbyist? Are they an instructor? They need to take care of their body if they're doing it full time, etc.
Yeah.
Not end up in a wheelchair like Yahara did.
Exactly.
Out of the wheelchair now, I think.
Yeah,
that was ages ago.
But that's what can happen. Too much hard style. Too much Cobra Kai. But I think the hard training is the most fun.
It's really where where I'm at the moment. I just want to train hard. Get sick of talking about karate.
Yeah, talking about it too much. Anyway, continuing on with our podcast where we talk about karate. So I was watching the other day. I was watching another karate guy, Sensei Seth.
Yeah.
On the old YouTube, and this really annoyed me. He was talking about kicks, and he says, "Oh, we're going to look at 3 different styles of kick. We're going to look at a Taekwondo kick. We're going to look at a Thai boxing kick. We're going to look at a karate kick." And he had a Taekwondo instructor on doing a Taekwondo kick. Then he had a Thai boxer on doing a Thai boxing kick. Then he had himself saying how karate's kind of somewhere in between the two.
Which kick were they doing? Were they doing like the same kick? Oh, okay.
They're all doing their version of like roundhouse kick. And the Taekwondo guy came up like almost like Maegiri and turned his hip in at the very last second.
Yeah.
Thai boxer obviously opened his hips up, planting his foot out, big
Slam.
baseball bat swinging.
Yeah.
And then Seth went karate style. He said, "Oh, we kind of still come round, but we chamber our kick back, we chamber our kicks, and we release it at the end like the Taekwondo kick. So we come round like the Thai boxing kick, but we chamber that foot and release it at the end." That's kind of what he said. And I was just like, "What fucking bullshit, man."
That does sound like complete nonsense.
Complete nonsense. It was fucking these YouTube senseis, man.
He does a lot of shit. Well, we'll get back to Sensei
Not
Seth
just Sensei.
himself.
This isn't a rag on Sensei Seth, though. Sensei Seth's very good kicker.
I'll rag
very
on him
good
in a minute if you want.
Very good martial artist, I think.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Very good kicker and very good content, and I like his videos. That's why I was watching it. I like his videos. I do like watching them. But I thought that particular video, I was just like, why would you categorize roundhouse kick to style? It's all roundhouse kick, man.
Well, it is if you're... Okay, so it is all roundhouse kick if you're a Shotokan karate guy. At least the way we train. Because we know that you can kick mawashigiri in, infinite number of ways. And it's all mawashigiri.
Right.
And there are ways of training. There's the way we do it when we're teaching... yellow belts. That's when you start learning mawashigiri? Yeah.
Red belt, I think.
Red belt. When we're teaching red belts, we're like, okay, lift the foot up to the side, then pivot and snap. But that doesn't mean that's the best or the only way to do mawashigiri. And we know that because we train at a higher level. Scott gets us to do, the fake, bring the hip up, bring the knee up in the middle, pivot at the last second, a la the Taekwondo guy. Yeah. Or, you've been on this kick where you're all about this big looping slamming mawashigiri lately, which is obviously a lot more like...
The best way.
No, a lot more like Muay Thai. But obviously the Taekwondo guy is going to favour that style because Taekwondo there's a super emphasis on competition.
Yeah. Literally the way they were justifying it was he wants to sneak up in between the elbow and hang and hit the... You know how they wear those body pads?
Yeah.
And it was hitting that to get the point was like the reason we throw it that way is to hit that bit there. Yeah. And then the Thai box guy is like, oh, we're slamming it in, and then Seth somewhere in between. And it was like... And not so much about the style, but it's just that way where it's a lie. The video was a lie, which was the thing that annoyed me, because I was like, because they must know, they all know, all three of them know, that there's different ways of throwing a roundhouse kick, and it just depends on your position, who you're up against, why you're using it, distance, all the timing, everything. Like if you're, like, for example, if I am sparring someone big and heavy and strong, I'm whacking that leg in like a baseball bat till the cows come home. I'm not going to try and flicky touch somebody.
Yeah.
If someone's pinging about super fast, I'm going to have to change the style of my kick so that
Probably
it goes from A to B. So it goes from A to B the fastest way possible. Mm-hmm. Because if I try the big swingy one, it's too slow and I'm never going to catch them. Mm-hmm. Unless I have excellent timing or such. And again, different things. Sometimes maybe hit them really hard to slow them down. Sometimes if they're really big and slow, you can ping your leg up really fast. It just depends. The point is, it's bullshit to try and say that one style kicks a certain way, man. All styles kick the same way. You just have to be good enough to be able to do it all.
But that's the thing. They're not taught to do it all. But some very lucky people are allowed to suppose that they can do it anyway, such as us in Shotokan Karate. If you have... Maybe some instructors will be like, this is the Shotokan Karate way to do it, and only do it that way, and it'll probably be the Kihon way. And then some instructors...
Like Scott No. always handcuffing me when I'm trying to kick, man.
Scott says the fundamentals are absolute, but the manifestations are infinite. Something like that.
Yeah.
So the manifestations of mawashigiri are infinite.
Exactly.
So there is no Shotokan Karate way.
Exactly. It's just all
Or you could say they're all Shotokan Karate way.
Everything is
everything is Shotokan. No, that's what I'm saying.
Everything is Shotokan.
That's why I think karate is special. Is special, especially Shotokan, because it's. I'm not going to say the most scientific style, because obviously boxing is a huge game, and there's buttloads of science that's gone into teaching boxers to be as fast and powerful and tactical as they can be, but they only box Whereas you could argue that traditional karate is a bit more like MMA. You know, you see those videos where it's like, oh yeah, all those techniques are in Okinawan karate, whatever else. But Okinawan karate, you could argue, is a bit stuck in the past. You know, it's a bit too traditional, and you've got the balance with Shotokan as being very scientific, but also being rooted in that traditional style. Now, a lot of the grappling stuff, the joint locks and stuff has fallen by the wayside, but it's all there if you want to pick it up.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that. What I would say is, though, that you are incredibly lucky.
Naive.
Like we are. No, we are incredibly lucky because we happen to be in a dojo where the head sensei is one of the best instructors in the world.
Yeah,
But because, for example, if I try and show any karate person how to throw any sort of hook or Thai boxing style kick, and I say style because it's different from what we traditionally, again, teach beginners and stuff like that. There are people with dans up the butt, full of the dans, all the dans, who cannot throw a cross hook cross combination without straightening out the hook like a karate punch. Because they don't practice different than what they were taught in day one.
but there are some people
And
like
that is the massive majority.
it doesn't. I don't think it matters if it's the majority or not, because at the end of the day, Guy Brodeur, Scott Langley, what's his name, Steve Ubel, they all train Shotokan karate. Okay, so they are examples of how good it can be, and there's a lot of examples of how shit it can be.
That's why I was saying I agree with everything you said.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I think it too. But I think that those people are very special and few and far between. I think there's a lot of bullshit in Shotokan karate.
Yeah, but it's also like they'd have to do more research. I don't know if you could. I don't think you could show me. Now this is going to be a big claim. Okay, I'm gonna get shot for this. But I don't think you could show me anyone from another style of karate, such as Wado, such as Goju, who is as well rounded as the likes of Guy, Scott, and Steve.
I mean, I can't argue because I haven't seen any. I've never seen a video of a modern day Wado,
Shito is another one.
Goju, Shitoru. Well, I mean, it depends. Like, I mean, I think personally, Shotokan is definitely physically the hardest. Like, it's just physically the hardest one.
Okay.
And now doesn't mean that there's Wado guys out there that train harder than us. Probably is somewhere. Wouldn't surprise me. But I think Shotokan as a style is very, very difficult to do. And that means, like I say, train hard, physically you're then physically able to do anything that you're asked of. I know that like from that Shotokan background, even like early on, not having much technical input, but just by training in those long stances, there's complicated techniques and katas and stuff. When I would then jump into a boxing, MMA, jiu-jitsu class, like even jiu-jitsu, which is difficult, man, it was easy to pick that sort of stuff up, like in comparison. Like I was like, oh Christ, you're barely thinking about anything. You just have to kick it really hard, like, you know. And that's not like shitting on anyone's martial art. Obviously, there's a lot of technical stuff in there, but like far less things to think about.
So this is what I was trying to say when I was talking to Yassi. I was talking to Yassi about martial arts, and she's a boxer.
She'd be a boxer.
And I was trying to say that karate is the best martial art in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wasn't having it.
No.
No.
And I was trying to say that it's because obviously a boxer, somebody trains for 6 months and they can throw a 1-2 better than a karate guy is going to be able to throw it after training for 6 years.
Yeah,
maybe that's a bit of a wild claim, but it depends.
Tough argument to get around, right?
Yeah.
To the boxer.
Yeah, for sure. No, and that's but I still think karate is, air quotes, better because a boxer just boxes.
Hold on. Right, I'll be assy, and I'll defend boxing, and you try and tell me why. How Shotokan in 6 years' time is better than me going and doing boxing and learning the punch really quick. Go on.
Okay, fine.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so
let me get carried. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, Shotokan.
What's that?
It's the style of karate that I do.
I thought there's styles of karate.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter. I'm just talking about karate, but I'm talking about Shotokan. But just Shotokan is karate.
Okay.
Okay. So in Shotokan, you learn everything. You can learn everything in Shotokan. Most people don't eventually get there, but at the top.
Why do they not get there?
Because they don't have that. Maybe they just don't have an instructor that knows everything. That knows that is well rounded.
There's instructors that don't know everything about karate.
Yeah, because it's
My
so
boxing
big.
coach knows everything about boxing.
Probably so, but in boxing, you just box. All right. In karate, in
You just
Shotokan-
karate.
No, but there's a lot more. I mean, we use it's like Muay Thai. We use all 8 limbs. There's even headbutts to be found in kata. There's even takedowns, joint locks, grappling, all kinds of stuff like that. Okay, a boxer just boxes. Therefore, they're going to get a lot better at boxing faster than a karate student.
Yeah. And by the time the karate guy gets better, he's never going to have to use it because he's really old. But boxing's like the best thing because I'll be able to punch you straight away while you're still learning how to do your karate stuff. What's the dance thing that you do? Why do you dance? Like, why do you do wee dances?
I actually don't know. Fuck off. You're so annoying.
You know, it's really difficult to do this because everything you're saying, I totally get it. I'm like, yeah, you're right. But I'm trying to think, what would they say? Why do you spend half your time punching thin air? Why do you never punch stuff?
Because it looks cool. That's why we do.
No, it
contact.
definitely doesn't. Those
Yeah.
stupid pajamas.
No, it does. The doggies look cool, the belt looks cool, and the kata looks cool. Sorry. Fuck you. Karate's the best. We get to look cool.
Yeah, see, if you're listening, fuck you.
Fuck you. She'll never listen to this.
Oh, man. But no, you can see it. Like I was tagged in a photo the other day from like 10 years ago. And it was me and it was one of my old pals from my old MMA class.
No.
And I was tagging this wee photo and it was me putting, like, we're grappling or something and I'm on top of him trying to grab a hold of his arm.
And you looked closely and you were like, oh, that's double hickey tip.
That's impy. And he said, like, anyone who says karate doesn't work hasn't been punched by Ross before. Basically, was the post. It was a very nice wee post, nice wee memory, and a nice wee shout out. So Rob, shout out back, good man.
Us, Rob.
That's like, I think that is the ultimate point because like, again, like
The ultimate point is you can punch hard, therefore karate is good.
Therefore, karate's good. I kicked all the bullies' asses at school with karate, so it works fine. It's very good martial art. Yeah. But it's really like, you know, that thing, like, you know, when people break down styles and stuff. Like, do you watch UFC the weekend?
Didn't watch their most recent fights, no.
No, like Israel Adesanya.
Oh, it's Adesanya.
It's African. You're better at that.
I'm not going to do an African accent on the podcast.
He's very good at it. Don't be fooled.
I've never done a Nigerian accent before in my life, folks. Don't listen to him.
Adesanya, I think, is the way you pronounce it properly.
Okay.
Like an American goes, Adesanya, but it's Adesanya. But yeah, Israel though put on a striking clinic, and
I've seen him fight before.
And you watch it and you go, there is nothing that he's doing that we have, like, he's doing it better than anyone I've ever seen do it. But there's nothing that he's doing that I'm going, wow, I've never seen that before. It's like, no, we've been doing that last week, just really shit in comparison. But like, you know, every strike that he does, and he's the best striker, it's like, yeah, that's everything you would see in a standard karate class. Like, in a standard, like, kumite class, is how he's moving, how he's controlling distance, the way he's throwing his kicks. Like, they say, oh, that question mark kick's my game. Washigiri, like, it's in our grading syllabus, that kick, basically, at an even harder level. Like, we have to do 2 full kicks rather than that fake and run. So, like, yeah, like, after you watch these, like, top level MMA guys, and you look at it and you go, that is essentially
It's karate.
It's karate,
Yes.
yeah.
Everything is karate.
Everything is everything.
Oh, I keep forgetting shit. Okay.
But on a sadder note, after all that chat, you know, just to
We
bring
have to
mood
get
down a
back
bit.
to the shite again.
The shite. Barcelona
Stop, I'm going to cry.
has been rescheduled to September of next year.
That's a full year.
It's a year of kicking ass and getting better, but which is the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be positive and say that's an extra year to practice. But yeah, shitty. It's very shit. And in September, I don't know what the weather's like in September in Barcelona.
Well, we were going to go over in March, which is spring, and this is going to be September, which is like the start of autumn. It should be fine.
Yeah?
Yeah, it'll be maybe a bit chilly by their standards, but it'll be nice for us.
Better be. Half the appeal is the...
Jesus. Did you just break that chair?
Yep, I think so.
Too much relaxed heaviness.
I mean, no, God Sensei, just break your chair.
Sorry. Anyway, about Barcelona. Yeah, so Barcelona, the first ever HDKI International Cup, was to take place March 2021. Now, hopefully, as long as the world doesn't end completely, September 2021.
Yeah. I'm looking at that calendar there.
Yeah.
All the trips missed. Piece of shit. I was meant to be in Alabama in August. Meant to be in fucking Sweden.
We were meant to be in Denmark.
Meant to be in Denmark.
We were meant to go... Remember, we were meant to go and train with Peter Constantine last April?
Yeah, I go train with Peter, man. Sensei Peter, and that fell through as well. Some bullshit, man. I think we need a karate holiday. If you could karate holiday anywhere right now, where would you go?
Like I invent my own karate holiday,
Yeah.
or I go to one that already exists.
No, you can invent.
I can invent my own.
Invent away.
It would have to be like China. We'd have to get like a Shaolin temple kind of location.
Oh yeah, you want to do some kung fu for your karate?
No. We'll go there and do karate. Like,
Kick the Shaolin monks out the monastery. Like, right, on your bike, son. We'll take some karate.
but we'll take we're gonna wear the kung fu robes with the wee buttons in the front. You know, the swishy kimonos. Yeah. And we're gonna play with swords, but we'll be doing karate.
Fucking brilliant.
And we'll jog up steps, like, you know, steps all the way up a mountain and do cool shit like that. And we'll eat Chinese food and we'll make sure there's loads and loads of beer.
Rake beer in the temple.
In the temple, yeah.
Like Buddha holding all the beers. Like,
Exactly.
that'd be China. Would be. I've never been to China, but man, China's on the blacklist for me just now with this Corona stuff. You know,
They're fine over there
are
now,
they
aren't
fine
they?
now? Are they?
I don't know.
I'd be scared. You
I
can't
li-
trust anything. That's
I
said in the
trust
news.
all the propaganda that comes out of China.
Yeah, see, big Trumpy boy. He's got Corona.
I know.
You know, because like. Funny, because all his at his rally, did you see the guy interviewing everyone at his rally not wearing masks? They're like, it's a conspiracy theory, and Trump's gonna prove it. And fucking Trump's got it. It's like, guess it's not a conspiracy theory. Man,
Do you think though it's a ruse? Do you think they're
Just a
saying
mess
they're
about.
saying he's got it so he can, I don't know,
Postpone.
recover in a week or something, and then he'll be like, see, it was no big deal.
I think it might be a little bit more sinister than that, and maybe it's to mess about with the election.
How so?
Well, I'm too sick. We can't do debates, and we have to postpone the election.
Fuck that. If you're sick, you're sick. Sorry. If you're sick, you're sick.
It's a mess over there. So my karate holiday is not going to be in America. As much as I love going to America to do karate. Where would I go?
Hawaii.
Thailand. We're going to Tiger Muay Thai with all the bags and the gear. And
But just doing karate, right?
But just doing karate. Just doing karate. We're going to say to Tiger Muay Thai, how's it going? Get out. The gym's for. Because you got to remember the beaches in Thailand are like,
Stop.
Yeah. We could be going, and we hear some real ooh-wees. That famous Thai boxing chat. Yeah, man, Thailand for sure would be my next. That's on my bucket list. I want to go away to Thailand and train in Tiger Muay Thai. That's like, I know
I'll go with you.
tourists. I know one of my mates, Shona, actually used to train in the dojo. Was travelling around the world, and one of her stops was Thailand, and she got to train in Tiger Muay Thai.
Oh, she went to Tiger Muay Thai?
Yeah, and she was training, which was cool, and I was like, I definitely have to do that at some point. So that would be my karate holiday.
I was fantasizing about a similar karate holiday, only at the time I was looking at Muay Thai. And there's hundreds and hundreds of places you can go and train for a month, train for 2 months, train for a week even, and some of them are really tourist oriented. Like some of them, you train every day and they'll take you on a bar crawl, or you can get on a boat and
let's do that. Yeah,
but no, that's really and it's like it's suitable for beginners, and I'm like, fuck that, no, I want to No. I want a bit of ooh-wee, okay? I don't want a bit of ooh-wee.
Train with trainer gay and just
Exactly.
fucking get smashed.
Yeah, and, sleep on the fucking floor and sleep, 4 hours a night and no beach allowed. Only training.
Man, you're ruining my karate holiday, man.
If you're gonna go do it properly,
Such a
man. If
killjoy.
you're gonna go train Muay Thai, you have to train like the fucking natives.
One karate holiday which could be fun would be like doing Rick Jackson's summer camp, but somewhere mad like him, like
Siberia.
like in Greenland or something, where it's just freezing. Yeah, Greenland, fighting off the tigers and meditating.
There's no tigers in Greenland. You meant Siberia.
Siberia, yeah. Siberia, yeah.
All right, Rick Jackson in his prime versus a white Siberian tiger. Who'd win?
Rick Jackson.
You get him with the old height though.
We'd get him with the old mind explosion.
Mind bullets.
The demons are coming at you.
Yes.
Kill him. Yeah, but training Rick Jackson's summer camp's a must on the bucket list as well. Yeah. Since he said that he thought we like.
He kind of implied that we wouldn't hack it, didn't he?
Yeah, and that really still hurts me to this day. And I'm like, I'll hack it. I sit and say that for the full time and don't squirm.
Yeah, but last time he was here, he only made us sit for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, but everyone was still squaring. I was swearing to myself, you like empty your mind. I'm like, don't you fucking move. Mine was not empty.
Steely determination is all you need.
I'll train. I'll build up to it. 5 minutes a day.
Of Cesar?
And 10 minutes a day.
That's a waste of time.
That is a waste of time. Imagine. I would never do that. Christ. Stupid. Just kick and punch. Oh, Jesus.
But we won't go.
I'll tell you what. What happened with Caitlin in Georgia. So,
oh yeah.
So
Wait, are we just gonna call them out on the podcast?
I'm
right
calling
now?
them out. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So my
You're such a prick.
My lovely girlfriend was over here for a few weeks, and we had to go and quarantine and everything like that. While she was visiting, we hadn't seen each other in 7 months. So long distance, very tricky. So we quarantined for the 2 weeks, and then after the 2 weeks of quarantine, we were out and about and stuff. And I was back in the dojo after 2 weeks, and I was training, and I left straight away to go and see Molly. And I didn't say like hello, goodbye, cheerio. I just left. And then all of a sudden there was a big kibosh that I had fallen out with everyone and stuff like that.
I was getting the texts about it, man.
I was like, gee, and I came into the dojo with beer and sweeties and stuff saying, we don't know what's happened, but we hope everything's okay. I was like, oh my goodness. And it's amazing the effect this karate teacher can have on people, yeah? Like, even when you don't realise the slightest little gesture can be picked up.
Yeah.
In a completely different way. I just wanted to go home to see Molly, and it turned out like people thought I was upset with them and everything like that.
They were texting me like, what's wrong with Ross? He's really, really angry with us. I'm like, no, he's not. Yeah, he's fumed. Like, he won't even look at us. He won't talk to us. He's being really shady. He's like not answering me when I say hello. And none of that was true. It just like got amplified in their head.
I whispered hello from across the room. Yeah, it's fun. But yeah, anyone who's teaching, man, just always be mindful that the slightest gesture can send you awry.
Do you think you have to be really like extra charming and personable as a karate teacher? You have to kind of put on an act.
I don't think what I put on is an act, but it is very. I think it would surprise people who look from the outside in how tiring it is to always be on your A game. Like, you always have to be super nice, super charming. You always have to be, performing almost. But there's genuine affection for all the students and stuff in the dojo. You build up relationships.
Especially tiring when your dojo relationships kind of spill over into your real life relationships too.
Yeah.
Because if something goes wrong there, it comes back into the dojo.
Yeah. Can be very difficult to have separation. Which I think actually Scott is very good at on a level of keeping it separate for the most part, which is something maybe need to look into learning a little bit more of. So things like when I go and see my girlfriend who I've not seen in 7 months, I don't get accused of hating the dojo. But yeah, like I think people would be surprised how tiring it is to always be willing to talk because people come to train, they're very excited to come train, and you're part of the experience, right? Talking to Sensei's part of the experience, and you cannot be bothered talking to anyone. It's not the individual, it's just you've had a shit day, you're having a tough time, you know, and they come in, and all of a sudden you have to listen to everything and be engaging and care about what they're talking about and stuff. And sometimes you just want to go to bed.
Sometimes, but then of course a lot of the time it's lovely.
Oh yeah,
and
more,
you do
like,
want to talk.
99% of the time, you like, again, genuine affection for everyone in the dojo and stuff. But there's some times where people will have no idea that you're literally 2 seconds away from crying. Yeah, it's tiring. It's tiring stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Someone's got to do it, man.
I mean, could you imagine, like, back in the day, like I can't imagine, like, because any student come up and talk to me, the kids will blather away and chat to me, which is great. I love that. Like, I love the kids and stuff are, like, you see the really shy kids, especially when they start, then over a period of time, they're then blathering away to you about school and stuff like that, and telling you things that they maybe wouldn't tell their parents and stuff, and you're like, they feel that comfortable around you, which is cool. But I remember coming up through the grades with, like, Frank Brennan, and, like, Frank Brennan done all my gradings. And I've never spoken to Frank Brennan.
Oh, yeah?
I've trained with Frank Brennan 100 times. I've never ever said one word except what's.
Could you imagine chatting away to him about your day?
Walking into the door, oh, Sensei, how are you? So just go ham today, Sensei. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you. I was just like, no way.
Yeah.
No way. Now, who knows, maybe in his own dojo, he is that guy, and he is very chatty. I doubt it. But like, maybe he is that guy, and he's blathering away and stuff. And how's your mother? Is your mother doing well?
Maybe he's softened up in his old age.
I doubt it. But yeah, like, but I could never imagine walking up to him on a course the way that people feel comfortable walking up and talking to Scott, partying with the senseis afterwards, like having dinner and stuff like that, and being able to strike up a conversation.
No. We need to get someone to write us in. Guys, if you've ever had a pleasant conversation with Frank Brennan, send us an email, comment on this YouTube. If you're on YouTube, comment on the YouTube video. Hombu Dojo Podcasts at gmail.com. Get in touch.
Get in touch and tell us your story. Or tell us your story about a sensei that wouldn't talk to you, or maybe a sensei that's a really good, positive experience you've had with a sensei.
Yeah.
Or if you're a sensei yourself. Have you ever told a student to fuck off? Yeah, don't tell us about how nice you are to your students. Tell us when you've told students to fuck off. It's way more interesting.
Sometimes when I'm feeling really shit, and I'll arrive to my class on time, which is like 10 or 5 minutes early, and I'll just hide around the corner until the minute the clock turns to 5 o'clock, and I'll walk in the door and I'm like, right, line up!
Oh, there's nothing worse when you come in for your class and you can't, like, sometimes I'll come in like sometimes an hour early just to chill out.
Yeah.
And get ready for class. Sometimes I'll, like, if I'm teaching at like 4 o'clock in here, normally that's the weekday beginner class time, I'll come in at 3:30 and then somebody comes in at like 25:2 with some tiny kid, and I'm just like,
this is my time.
Like, I literally, I've a couple of times I'll be like, you have to leave. Like you can't just come in here for 25 minutes before class. Like, that's out of order. I've never done it. But I would still, like, that's what I'm thinking on the inside. Like, it's not anything to do with them. It's people. It's just, I need my time to just get ready to perform. Like, you know,
for sure.
Because once you start going, you then have to be the energetic clowns.
Man, I've arrived at classes thinking I can't do it as well.
Yeah.
Thinking, how am I going to get through this? I'm going to be a bastard. These kids are going to hate me. And then, as soon as the warm-up is finished, you're like, okay, I've got an idea for loads of games. I've got an idea for loads of challenges. This is what I'm going to teach you. I'm going to put it all together. Boom. And then have a fantastic class.
It's like I talk about with kumite, like the flicking the switch. Like being able to be chill and stuff, then flick the switch in your serious.
It's the same
mode.
as kumite.
It's the exact
when you
same
need to
thing.
punch a kid in the face, you just flip the switch.
Anyway.
On that pleasant note.
Rue, are you ready to finish off with some
Fails of the week. Let me see. Have I got one? Yes, I do. Wait, which one did I do last week?
I cannot remember.
I can't do the same one twice.
If you tell me, I'll let you know. I'll interrupt you if you've told me the story.
So, I missed a training session last week. Not an extraordinary occurrence. I used to miss a lot more training than I do nowadays, but I've been very, very good for about the last 9 months. Since January, I gave myself a kick in the butt and I've been attending really, really well all the morning sessions. But last week, slept in and I missed a session. It was a Wednesday. So then I rocked up on the Thursday and, you know, a large part of my, motivation for being, very, very good lately has been long chats that I've had with you and with Scott Sensei about, being disciplined and, following the path and yada, yada, yada. So I rocked up on the Thursday. Oh, I'm really sorry I missed yesterday. I just slept in. Or made up some stupid excuse about having a sore tummy. But anyway, we spent the last 15 or 20 minutes of that Thursday sparring. And
You've not told this one.
So, sparred with AJ, fine. AJ you can always have a nice little flow with. Who did I spar next? Probably Karen. And Karen always tries to escalate, but I'm getting better at holding my own, so that was fine. And then Scott goes, okay, yeah, mate, change partner. Woo! Get the fuck over here! And I was like, oh, classic Sensei, always like, oh, I'm going to beat you up. And he's, he's a big teddy bear, whatever. So, started moving around with Scott a little bit, and like there's something in his eye, some kind of look in his eye which is making me a bit, and he starts letting me touch him, letting me hit, letting me score. We're not doing Shobu Whip on, but he's letting me in past his guard. He's not blocking everything, so I'm tapping away, and he's moving, and then he's coming back and he's giving a tap or two, but I'm like, something's not right here. He's luring me into a false sense of security for sure. It's like this never happens.
It's like that fucking wildebeest that's coming up to the water drinking, knowing there's a fucking crocodile there.
Exactly, and this never happens. He's always, he blocks everything and then just, pops you right in the solar plexus or whatever else. But he wasn't only giving me this false sense of security, he was wearing me out. Because I'm always a lot more tense fighting Scott, because because he's so good. So I'm panting, and I'm getting really, really tired, but he's still letting me hit, and next thing, he flips the fucking switch, and starts kicking the shit out of me.
You mean Scott says he escalated? That doesn't sound like it.
Obviously he didn't kick the shit out of me. We're not doing a combat sport here. Kumite is always very controlled and light contact, because we don't wear gloves or anything. Don't even put in mouth guards most of the time. But next thing, he comes in with this combination and his left leg flies up and his heel hits me right in the jaw. Ooh. Left leg uramawash, and man, I was like, it was sore to eat for the next day.
Oh man.
And the fail is that I deserved it.
Why didn't you block it?
Why didn't I block it? Fuck off.
That's all these years of training, man. You don't know how to block a kick. Because I'm telling you, Shokan is not the best one.
Anyway, the point is,
I know. It's not like he hits you. You get hit one side, and then the other side's really. Hitting one side of the jaw, then the other side of the jaw is really sore.
Exactly, because the tendons get stretched.
Yeah.
And it's not like I've never taken a clout before. I have. But I just felt like it was a clout of shame.
It was that you
it was
deserved
for missing
it.
Training.
You deserved it. He was making a point.
It was a punishment kick.
Making a point.
Your turn.
So my fail is I'm sure many people have had this fail. Maybe not because I'm just an egomaniac and need attention. I need attention during training. I really get it. But I was looking for attention from Scott Sensei, the whole class. Just because I train really hard, and I always look for that yeah, that's it, Ross. Something like that just gets me. I'm like,
that's rare.
It's rare, but I'm I was on fire. I was moving well, and I was like, I need someone needs to say something about this.
You needed that affirmation.
A little bit of boost, Ross, you're looking all right today, son. Just something like that. And paying away doing the whole big huge combination that we were doing the other day. And ping, 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 really fast, really sharp. Finally, the boss man comes over. He's like, and he does that, that weird stance. He stands and he's like, with his finger. He stands with he's got his left arm folded underneath him. His right elbow on top, finger on the chin, and he goes, yeah, show me what you do. And I was like, yes, here we go. 1, 2, what am I doing? Where am I going? Like, Jesus, no! Like, fucking, like, just fell apart. You know that way where sometimes you just fall apart. Like, you start, like, had a little stutter step, and then after the stutter step, I just couldn't pull it back together. And it was just typical. And he's obviously like, no, Phil. And I was just like, Christ.
Ross can't do it. Oh well.
Yeah. And that, like, it's not a big deal, obviously. It's not a big fail, but
It matters.
I hate making mistakes, man. I hate it. My ego can't handle it. Don't like it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there's a great meme. There's like a guy and he's in the middle of falling over and he looks like he's just an awkward individual. His limbs are flying everywhere and it's I can't remember the caption, but it was something like, you know, doing well all class and then Sensei looks at me and this is what happens.
That's it, man. It was just typical. So that's my fail. I was literally Scottish was no fail. So, classic fail. Anyway,
that's about it, I reckon.
that's it. That was a long one.
Let's wrap it up.
Chatting away. We will see you same time next week.
Us, thanks for listening.
Deep bow.
Us. Chat to you later on, folks.